Good afternoon. We're just having some folks join here. I'd like to welcome you to the security and noise control presentation from Noise Barriers. My name's Jason Cardell. I've been with the company about 16 years now and specialize in a lot of our security projects, dynamometer enclosures, and specialty door applications. Our agenda today, obviously to discuss the security and noise control, is to talk about or discuss our doors, windows, modular enclosures, and some of the prefabricated enclosures we have available. I'd like to start with our doors and discuss our ratings and hardware, which really kind of incorporates a package as we think about a door. Our doors are available in an STC of 45 to 64. We have them available in wood and steel. However, we can apply a wood veneer or P-lam finish to those steel doors. Our doors are typically going to come with a cam lift hinge. However, we do have some new options that are coming online in our Alexis line that have a concealed hinge option. For the most part, hardware is supplied and factory installed, which means we're going to swing the door with the hardware or your hardware installed in that door at our factory as a completed assembly. Most doors are going to include double or triple magnetic seals or specialty seals in some cases. They are available in bullet resistant construction, and our doors feature a split frame design, which is ideal for post construction or retrofit applications. When we're discussing the doors and the hardware that it's applied, we look at the government guidelines, which are the FF-L 2890B, and they give us basically 6 divisions of that hardware, and it's really intended to identify what the room or the usage of that particular opening is going to be, whether or not it's a fire rated opening or if it's going to have be an electrified unit or maybe have a security override feature such as a dial lock set. Some of the common security hardware that we see on these specialized doors or skiff doors are going to be very unique in application. If you notice at the top, that would be the Sargent and Greenleaf 2740B. It not only has a lock capability, but it also has a dial lock set on there. This can be an electrified lock, and then as you can see, it's got the panic bar on the opposite side of the door. So it's really a good multi-function application. Just below that is the Lockmaster's LKM 10K, which has really become a pretty good standard in our industry. And it's a little bit more simplified lock set. It does have the ability to do the emergency egress with a small pull handle or the push bar, and of course the key override and dialed security feature. Whenever we're talking any of these electrified devices, whether it's the Sargent Mortis lock set, which is just below there with the wire hanging out, we need a power transfer, which is the upper right picture. And that's basically taking the electrification and transferring it from the lock through the hinge pocket. And that there's a number of different devices that we use, but this is just one. The push button lock to the next left there is a Kaba Simplex unit. Would be considered the level 1 or 2 style lock, and that's just a simple Mortis lock set with the push button code to enter and key override. I did mention the Sargent Mortis lock already, but just below that, starting on the right, or excuse me, on the left, would be the LCN closure, which is going to be very typical of any security opening to have a closure on it. A magnetic lock or sometimes magnetic hold open can be used in this combination. And then of course the dial set that you see on the lower right is the Kabelmaß X10, and that's really become an industry standard uh, for the dial sets. This is a real brief introduction to our brochure for these products, and really we can identify any of the skiff or secure compartmentalized information facility type applications. Anything that has a Tempest up to an RF 60 can be done. So these are able to have an RF radio frequency rating, or any of the SAP areas these doors can be used for. They are guaranteed to exceed the STC rating of the DCID 6.9 and JFAN 6.9 callouts. The acoustic ratings are actually available, like I said, from an STC 45 all the way through a 64. So this is a little bit dated on some of that information, but we can also fire label those, and they're really available in a multitude of sizes. They're really customized to meet your application. If you notice at the top right, we have an example of our bullet testing. So whenever we're looking at these projects, we have to get those certified depending on either a broadcast or a broad certification or a specific project certification. So a sample of the door would actually be made, it has the composite material or bullet resistant material loaded inside, and then it's actually fire tested. And you know, that's information that we already have available on a lot of our projects or products. But when we're trying to meet specific conditions, that testing is also available. The door construction. The frame is sized to fit the existing rough opening for new construction or retrofit an existing opening. So we can actually custom manufacture and custom size these doors to fit your particular needs. They are a fully assembled door frame. Door and frame, and they're ready to install. The reduced installation time typically equals reduced installation costs. And these are going to be built out of rugged 14 gauge and heavier welded steel construction. And they range from about 2.5 inches to 5 inches thick. If you note on the upper right drawing, at the upper right corner there, there is the EMI shielding foam. So when we do look at an RF rated door, we can still maintain our STC value because we do have a seal in that location. But that seal becomes a conductive seal so that we can actually transmit the electric current through the door that would shield this opening from RF signals. I wanted to touch real briefly on our Easy Open and some of the features of the RF seals. The Easy Open seals are a new product for us. They are designed to reduce the break-free force typically associated with magnetic seals. They can be used on any of our doors up to an STC 64 and can be combined typically with an RF seal, or can be combined with the RF seal. But they're really ideal for skiff applications. You know, a situation where you have a lot of egress potential, where it's going to be maybe an entry door to a main skiff area. These will actually reduce that break-free force that a lot of the acoustic doors are going to experience because of the double magnetic seal. And again, these are available in up to an RF 50 dB. Here's a quick example of some of the door projects that we've done. Large door to the left, which is at a military facility. This has got another provision for security, that it actually has no exterior lock sets. So not only is it a large oversized door with a very high STC rating, I think that one was an STC 54, but the security provisions did not allow for any egress from the exterior. The right-hand door is what we call a communicating door, or a pair of doors. So you would actually have to open both doors, obviously, to go through that opening. But in some situations where we want to maybe obtain higher STC ratings, or where we may want to look at one of the interior doors possibly being a bullet resistant door, and then still have a higher STC rating to the exterior. So these are great for a lot of specialty applications. Something that we don't see a tremendous amount of, but I wanted to at least expose you to, is acoustic windows in skiff applications or security areas. Our acoustic windows are available in an STC of 43 through 64. We can also make these bullet resistant up to a UL level of 8. With the advent of switchable glass, we have incorporated that into our frame system. And those panes of glass or glazing can be straight or sloped. There is an RF film available, so these can also be an RF rated opening. And of course, all custom sizes are available, so they are really meant to meet your application. As you can see on the conference room up the upper left, that one is a secure area, but a drape has actually been, or a vision blocker has been added to that opening. So it is a secure facility in that application. And then at the lower left is a bullet resistant window, at obviously at a firing range. So a number of different applications for these windows. When we're talking our security windows, we typically try to stick with our hollow metal, HM, or split frame construction. And most applications are steel. They're going to be a steel frame. They're factory assembled in the HM configuration, and the HM basically just means the hollow metal. There's really no other designation other than that. They are typically double glazed, so we would have two pieces of glass on the one on the inboard and one on the outboard, or source side, and those are rated up to an STC 43 to 64. We do have 4 other designs, or 4 system designs for our windows, but we really do try to stick with these 2 designs in the fixed and split frames for these types of applications. These are always tested in a NAVLAP accredited acoustical lab. We do have factory testing information available to you. And as I mentioned, as long as they're not a split frame application, we do try to factory glaze those whenever possible. We also have, through our Quiet Mod offering, the capability of doing a modular skiff and specialty enclosure. These can be any shape or any size. They are completely modular construction, which allows for quick installation. We offer pre-wired electrical, which would be lighting, electrical systems, maybe wall plugs. They can be finished painted in any standard RAL color. The panel and door combination can be done in an STC of 50 to 61, and which can result in an NIC value of up to 70. I wanted to give you an example of one of the projects that we've completed in the last couple of years here, but it really gives a great snapshot of not only the STC performance or sound performance of this project, but it also gives us a good RF picture, which we'll discuss in just a minute. This is an example of an NIC 58 test result. It's single wall performance, and the wall construction was designed to meet the customer's requirements. As you can see, this is a little bit more strict or rigorous test. So this was actually done at a government facility, and they tested each individual wall for its performance. And as you can see, wall 1 was actually tested with the door condition with very, very little loss of performance with the door system in place. Our RF doors are the same package, or door opening, that in this case was also tested for RF. And this was up to an RF 50 rated. This is our single RF seal construction. There is copper unions at each of the panel joints that surround that enclosure. We do have a silence ventilation system in these, which included waveguides, which are also a disturbance for the RF signal. we included a low profile floor. And again, this was designed to meet that RF 50 rating. But as you can see in the chart, in every instance and every occasion that was tested, we exceeded that rating dramatically. We also have the capability of taking that same modular enclosure and creating a pre-assembled enclosure. Those can be done with custom layouts and features and standard components. There's really an unlimited size and configuration capability, and they are expandable and relocatable. They can be also used as factory offices, possibly control rooms or guardhouses, equipment rooms or instrumentation enclosures. So there's really a limitless set of opportunities here that these types of enclosures can be used to configure. In our Quiet Guard skiff applications, those are going to be designed to a mill duty construction. They would typically have thermal protection, noise and vibration control, and can be blast and bullet resistant. In this case, this was built in a container so that it's a fairly stealth application. And that kind of leads us into the skiff in a box idea, where we have a pre-constructed enclosure or possibly container that really is already outfitted. It can be something that's already seen some field service, just so it doesn't look quite as official. They can be painted in any color and really added and customized to meet your needs. As you can see, this is an oversized 40-foot enclosure, which has some provisions already at the end there for HVAC cooling systems, maybe for servers or communications equipment. And then obviously the entry doors that have been added to this. So they are really customized or fabricated to your specifications. We can do the interior and the exterior build out. Again, they're designed to meet the DCID 6 through 9 and ICS 705 through sound groups 1 through 4. We can also add our silenced and secure ventilation systems. And again, that electromagnetic shielding or the EM SA shielding. So to summarize what we've kind of gone over there, Noise Barriers is really a good one source for design, supply, and installation where required. All of our products can be custom tailored to meet the customer's applications. They're configurable designs, and there's a multitude of security solutions. I'd like to thank you for your time today. Again, my name is Jason Cardell. You can always reach us at info@noisebarriers.com or on the web at noisebarriers.com. Thank you and have a great day.